What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Alex, and welcome to another episode in the Mental Candy podcast. Today, I have a real treat for you. I speak with Simon Chen. He's in network marketing. He is absolutely crushing it. Built a team of around 200,000 people. He has the podcast with the most downloads, more than 500 episodes, 15 million downloads, and we speak about how to build your network marketing business in 2024. What works on social media, how to invite people to see the business, what are the common mistakes what people make when they build the business, and watch this episode to the end. I'm sure you'll love it. If you want to learn and seek growth in network marketing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click on follow, and it would be amazing if you leave a 5-star review. That would mean a lot to me, and we bring more extraordinary guests into the show. So enjoy and see you later. And there we are.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Simon, for taking the time.
You're welcome, cool. Man. It's an honor to be here. Appreciate you for everything you do for the profession.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you since a very long time, because when I started network marketing 2017, I got in touch with your podcast, and I was just listening a few episodes, and you truly have the #1 podcast for people in network marketing. And
thank you so much. That just tells you how old I am.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's amazing. And you have like 10 million downloads, and I think 600 episodes, or how many do you have?
It's we have like 15 million downloads and like 818 episodes, something like that.
Crazy. This is amazing. And thank you so much for taking the time today. And I want to provide as much value as possible for people that are in network marketing and seek growth, want to build a bigger business. And I have the ultimate expert today. And let's get this started.
Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in the Mental Candy podcast. And my first question is the age-old question. How did you get involved in network marketing, and what did you do before?
Well, I grew up in very traditional Asian household. I'm a shy, quiet Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York. Mm-hmm. And I was raised to study hard, and then go to a good university, and then get a job. And that's what I did. I studied hard, and what happened was I had a job I loved. And I'll give you a long story, right? I haven't shared this much. Mm-hmm. Hopefully she's not watching. I had an ex-girlfriend that dumped me. Okay. Right? And she dumped me because I wasn't making much income. I had a great job. I worked in sports. I worked in NBA, but I didn't make much money. And she was more into very advanced for her age. And she just dumped me because I wasn't, career driven. I thought I was career driven. But her greatest contribution was she introduced a book to me called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the book, for those who never read it, it's like, you're never going to live the life you want if you're working for someone else. You need to work for yourself. And I was like, well, only smart people can start a business. I never knew what to do. And I always thought you work hard, just like my father, he worked hard, and you work to a certain age, you retire. I never knew that you can actually don't need to work that long. You can work only for a couple of years, and you get money to continue to pay you forever. I was like, that sounds so good to be true. Then the more I learned about it, I learned the concept of passive income. We're doing something once and getting paid over and over and over again. So then I was like, oh, no wonder she dumped me, right? She was like very young. She had real estate properties, passive income. Well, I'm just like a corporate slave. And I thought I was like on a good fast track, but I'm a corporate slave working for someone else. So I wanted to start my own business. I didn't have any money. And then it was just like, what should I do? And I read the second book, which was by Kiyosaki, Cash Flow Quadrant. And that's when I first thought about doing a franchise. And then the more I studied about it, I didn't have the money to do it. And then I heard about network marketing. I had no idea what network marketing was. This was way back in 2003. I thought it was marketing computer networks. I didn't know why people were negative about that. But then I did a lot of soul searching, and this is when I was in a crossroads in my life. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, a big part of my life. I read the book Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And throughout that book, after the 40 days of exercises, I realized that God's purpose for me was to have a positive impact as many lives as possible. And when I discovered that, at the same time, I realized that network marketing is not about making the quick sale. If you really, now you can make some money by just making sales, but if you really want residual income that changes life, changes generations, you need to help people. And it's really like a coaching business. So I felt that, hey, I learned about this network marketing thing. I didn't have money for a franchise. I just felt like God was teaching me, hey, do this network marketing thing. You just need a couple $100, $1,000. So, and you can make six figures. I was like, wow, okay. But I was still skeptical. So I did a lot of research. I read books like Your Way for Network Marketing, I'm so dumb. I read Network Marketing for Dummies, totally was clueless. And I discovered it is a legitimate industry, but you do need to be consistent. And anyone who does the business consistently with the same company for 5 years can make a good full-time income. So that's how I started. I was so excited. No one actually, believe it or not, Alex, no one recruited me. That's probably very rare. I actually said, I want to do network marketing. It's very skeptical. I joined a company that's been around for a while, not something a new startup. And I just Googled, I live in LA, that company name in Los Angeles, that name popped at some random guy's website, popped up. I emailed him, called him, say, I'm Simon, I want to sign up. How do I sign up? Please call me back. And that's how I got started.
Nice. Are you still building the business with that company?
So I've been only involved with that one company. I stopped building in 2013. I kind of like transitioned now in 2012. I realized I had a different purpose. I love coaching. I love mentoring. That's God's purpose for me. And I realized my company was just a small drop in a huge $1 billion bucket, right? So I ventured and became a full-time coach since 2013. And you had mentioned that I started the podcast, 15 million downloads. That started in 2015. So I've been a full-time coach for 11 years, but I still make a six-figure residual from that income I built. That was, I had over 300,000 downlines and still continues to pay me to this day. But I no longer build. You cannot join it. I have people running it. I'm no longer involved with that company. I still get paid.
Okay, wow, that's impressive, and that's true. The goal of so many people when they start in network marketing, and you mentor a lot of people in their profession. So what do you see is the common problem when people want to build their business and they want to use social media for that? What do you see is what is the majority doing wrong?
Well, there's a lot of problems in wrong. The first problem is people are not trained to be on social media. So they become a commercial. Right? They talk about their company, how great it is, or the product, buy this. And once you become a commercial, now initially, and I think a lot of companies who are not, like they don't come from a social media background, right? They have no clue about how it works. They talk about a company. They encourage people to do that, not because they want to hurt the distributors, but just they don't know how it works. And that definitely does not work. Okay, if you're talking about your company, if I go to your social media profile and I can find out what company you're in, now you're doing it the wrong way. Now, you can talk about your product, but hide the name of the product. So, for example, if you have a fish oil supplement, you can talk about the importance of taking omega-3s. This is my daily routine. But I should not know what you're doing. Your whole purpose of social media is to increase curiosity and decrease alarm. Right? If I see, like, Alex, you're posting about, take this product, we have a buy one, get one sale, or I love this product. I'm like, oh my goodness, like you're trying to sell me. I kind of like if someone's friended you and all of a sudden I'm listing out, Toyotas, right? The Toyota 4Runner, the Toyota Land Cruiser, the Toyota Highlander. Oh, I'm like, what? And I try to reach out to you. What do you think I'm trying to do? Just
Sell you.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to be my friend. You'd be like, oh my, get away from me. You're trying to sell me something. And that's what most people do. That's the first mistake. And initially, you may have some success because someone may think, whoa, your friends, oh, I'll support you. But after that, you're not going to get anyone. And once you run out of people to talk to, no new person is going to want to friend you because they think they don't trust you and they think immediately you're trying to sell them. That's the biggest mistake. Other than that is they're not consistent. They post one time, they're not posting. Again, they're not consistent, so they're not showing their face, right? So if I don't see your face, then I don't trust you. like if you don't, and you have to trust other people. If you don't even trust other people out there, how do you expect, like you're like, well, I don't want strangers to know how I look like. Well, if you don't trust those strangers to how you look like, how do you expect strangers to trust you and give you their credit card to sign up? They're not, right? So people buy. I'm sure you have heard this. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And if they on the social media don't feel they know you, they don't feel they like you, they're not going to trust you, and they're not going to buy from you, right? So that's a big common mistake. If you ask people, what do you know? What's a couple words to describe you? Right? And then you look at your profile and they can't describe you right away, then you're doing it the wrong way. Right? They don't. So, for example, when I clicked on your profile, Alex, I didn't know who you were, but I immediately can tell, hey, you provide a lot of content, you're young, the stuff you like to do, you do a lot of live videos. I immediately feel like, hey, I'm talking to Alex, I know who he is. Right? It's just like people who follow me, they know, like, oh, he talks about consistency, he talks about baseball with his kids. These are things you have to share, right, on social media. Don't talk about your product stuff, share about who you are. Give value. People don't consistently give out. Another mistake, right? I trusted you because you give value on your profile. Because everyone wants me to be on the interviews. And why should I trust this guy, Alex? I don't know him. But again, if you're giving value and you're consistent in your content, and all successful people are consistent, all unsuccessful people are not consistent. That's almost like a given, right? So again, the consistency is very important. And the last mistake is, like people who are motivated, and this actually gets a lot of people, they try to do everything good on all social media platforms. Oh, I heard Alex talk about this on Instagram, but I want to do LinkedIn because someone else they found a big leader on LinkedIn. Oh, I should do that. But TikTok is the big one. I got to do TikTok. But on YouTube shorts are the next thing. And you try to do everything, and then everything becomes crap. Right? Instead, focus on one thing. You talk about the podcast. One of the keys to success for us was focusing on the podcast. I didn't do too much. I just focused on the podcast and became really good at it before I slowly did other things.
Okay, that's interesting. And most people, they struggle with being consistent. They just come, they show up, but then after like 2 or 3 weeks, they don't do anything anymore. Or after like 6 months, they just drop out. And this is the fear what people have when they say, I'm not sure if I want to work with that person, because if I start working with him and maybe they quit, then I'm left alone. So, and this is, for example, a metric when you focus on being consistent to show up every day. I got people in the business after 2.5 years, when they watched my stories, they said, I see you still doing it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it forever until something explodes, I don't know. so you see me either on the top of the mountain or dead on the side, but I'm not coming back. And you better join the success train, because we go to success station. And when people feel that, then they are on board, and that's so cool. So we discussed what is not working, what people should avoid. And now let's switch the conversation. What works now on social media? Because you also have a lot of experience when you talk with so many network marketing leaders. What works right now, 2024, on social media to get new distributors and new customers into the business?
Well, what works now is the same thing that's worked for decades, right? Now, the tactic may change all the time, right? So 7 years ago, Facebook Lives was a big thing and worked. You do a live video, you get tons of reach, right? And then it became Instagram Reels, and then became carousels, then became TikTok, then now it's like faceless Reels. So I think if you're trying to catch up, trying to get the latest strategy, trying to chase that, you're always going to be frustrated because it's hard to keep up with everything. It changes so quickly. Or YouTube is pushing more shorts now, so long videos are not as good. But people's attention span is long, so I shouldn't do long videos. I should do short videos. It's constantly changing. Don't put yourself at the mercy of these social media companies. So if you're chasing specific strategies, you're always going to be chasing, because you can learn something like, oh, I want to do faceless Reels and get good at it, and that's the thing I'm going to do. But it could change in 2 months, and we don't know. We never know, right? You want to game the algorithm, you never know. You're always going to be losing, because just when you figure it out, they're going to change it again. But instead, focus on timeless principles. So a timeless principle is, like I shared before, let people know who you are, because people ultimately buy who you know, like, and trust, right? What do you like to do? Do you have kids? How many kids do you have? what you don't like to do. Who are you? Where do you live? What's your background? You gotta let people know who. Yeah, they feel they know, like, and trust. If they click on your profile within 10 seconds, 15 seconds at max, will they feel they know who you are, right? Like when I click on your profile, I know you're young and dynamic, energetic guy. Immediately, that's right. I know you're not from the U.S. because you have some type of accent because from your videos, I know that. So within 15 seconds, people got to know who you are. If you're clicking on like a Facebook cover image, it's just generic in nature. I don't know anything about you, right? That's number one. Works. Number two is who's your target audience? Right? We're always speaking to one person. If you want to speak to everyone, you're going to end up speaking to no one. So, and that leads to number three is you got to provide value. So number one, pick your target audience. So say I want to attract people who are, like the way I was, late 20s, early 30s, working for corporate America, who are frustrated, who don't believe they can stay for the job for 30 years and doesn't think that's the future, and worry about job security in 10 years because of AI. Define that target audience, and the best target audience is the person you were before you got started.
So this is how I find this is my perfect target audience. So basically, the person who I was before I got started.
Yeah, and it's the perfect target audience because in order to really connect with that target audience, you should be able to describe a typical day of that target audience. Like my typical day was wake up early to work out. Right? Why did I work out at 6 a.m.? Because that was the only time I could work out. Because after we work, I'll be too tired, I'll be too busy, right? Then I'll get to the office at 8 a.m. because I want to make a good impression to the boss. I want to work hard. I take a 30-minute lunch break and not a 1 hour because I want to show my boss I'm working hard, right? I leave work at 6 o'clock. I never leave at 5 because that's like, that's frowned upon. I want to put in extra hours to work hard, get back home at 7:38, eat a little bit, watch TV, call a couple friends, and then relax, go to bed by 10:30, 11, and wake up the next day. And I look forward to the weekends. Friday, weekdays, I have no time for friends. Friday, I'll go out on Friday, go party. Saturday, go party, play sports, play basketball Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday night, dread going to work, repeat the cycle. Right now, how do I know that? And then having the fear that, can I ever become a vice president? Because those people have been at a company for 20 years. I got to slowly slave away, climb that corporate ladder, having the fear, also worried because I'm not able to, save as much money as I want, invest as much money. So how do I know that person that well? Because I was that person, right? I could speak to that person well because I know that person. That's why the target audience is always the one that the person you were before. Right? And so don't worry about targeting everyone. Just target the person that you were before. That's step number one. Step number two is you know those problems because you were that person, and then you provide solutions to those problems. So when you post on social media, I talk about what not to do, talk about your company, your products, but instead give value. Giving value means something you learn that you can inspire, teach, or entertain. Right? So entertain can be a joke. Right? Now, what joke? The joke that your target audience will like, right? So for me, it'd be like stuff like in the 90s, right? Early 2000s, music, you're talking about those type of music because you can relate to that person. So you entertain them, you inspire them, and you teach. And the easiest way to teach is stuff that you've learned, teach to that target audience. And then the third step is just letting people know who you are. Those three things. Those are things that doesn't matter what platform, it works. Okay, and it doesn't matter what strategy, it works, because those are timeless principles they'll never go away. Because that's human nature, human psychology. That's how humans are built.
This is so interesting because it's so important to make a personal development, read books, educate yourself, because these are the topics that you can speak and share value even when I just started out in network marketing, when you don't have the success, when you don't have the track record, when you don't have the materialistic success for people, what you can show, for example, that it's super important to make the personal development, read the books and summarize the page, for example, and make a short video about it. And people see like, oh, this makes really sense what this guy's saying. And this is like how you all the time have new content what you can share. This is amazing, valuable. Thanks for sharing this, Simon.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's the easiest way, right? I think you're watching this, you're listening to this, you learn a couple things already. So teach it. And I think if you're starting off, you don't know what to do, just think about someone that you want to help, right? I think if you think, well, I want to do a live video and like 1,000 people are going to watch it, I'm going to be nervous. But even like, I don't think you can ever get rid of fear, get rid of the nervousness. Even before we hopped on, I was a little nervous, but I focused on helping one person. I don't need to help the whole world, just one person, that my target audience I'm speaking to, I'm inspiring right now. And that's what it is. I'm talking to one person. I'm talking to one friend. I'm talking to my best friend. I'm sharing with them. And if you have that type of mindset, will help you overcome a lot of the fear.
Some people, for them, it's so difficult to make the switch from the personal conversation where they message somebody on Instagram and build a relationship and then switch it to the business conversation. How do you do this in a very smooth way? What is your take on that?
Well, I probably the worst example because I used to love to talk about myself, right? Okay. Everyone loves to talk about themselves, but no one cares about what you're saying. They just care about what you want to say. So I used to write it on my computer board or on my phone, like talk less, listen more. Everyone has 2 ears and one mouth, right? So people don't remember you for what you talk about. They remember you if you allow them to talk. Right? So just ask them, hey, where are you from? What do you do? How you doing? How's your day? Right? It's very fitting. Like, I just organized the first ever Forever Young event. Right? This is like a get together of old friends, kind of like a party in honor of my friend that passed away, Ray Moran, back in January. And that was something that really inspired me to get together. So we just did this get together in New York City, actually Hoboken, right next to New York City. And I was thinking on the way back that there's so much I wanted to share that I didn't get to share. And some of these friends I haven't seen in 30 years, a couple of people, right? Some of them like 10 years, 8 years. And because like when we got together, guess what? Everyone wanted to talk about themselves, what they're doing, what their kids are doing, right? But that's the key of a good networker. They should be talking more than you should be talking. If you're allowing other people to talk, they'll remember you because most people, they like to talk, right? You think about in most conversations, the person never gets to talk, right? So if you let the other person talk, you automatically make them happier. They'll like you more. They'll remember you more.
That's so interesting. And when you have the skill to make other people feel special by listening and by active listening, by giving them full attention, it's amazing how easy you make friends. And then when you find out during the conversation, because you're good at listening and you ask the right questions, you find out how you can help them somehow to solve a problem or to create a better life for him. This is when you place the invitation.
And it goes from the mindset of like, instead of worrying about what I gotta say, my script, how do I bring the product, how do I transition to it. If you're thinking about yourself, you automatically go in the wrong way. Because then you create the nervousness, then you act very robotic, right? But if you're talking to someone, like just be a listener and stop thinking about yourself, sincerely help the other person. And so when I got started, I struggled for months. And one of my turning points was, my big turning point was I had someone hold me accountable, made me consistent, and follow a simple system. But one of the things was I didn't like to sell, right? And then I read the book Selling 101 by Zig Ziglar, and he says you can get anything if you help enough people get what they want in life, you get everything you want in life, right? That's the famous quote. If you help enough people get what they want in life, you get everything you want in life. So stop thinking about how much money you want, how much you need. Focus on helping. Right? If I like, for example, if I help you, Alex, I could directly help me, and that doesn't mean you're going to help everyone. You don't need to help the whole world. You just need to help enough people. And that was very inspiring. I was like, wow, I don't need to help every person I talk to. No, you don't. Just enough people. Enough could be 100, could be 50, could be 70. But focus on helping. And then when you focus on helping, all of a sudden you become a listener, right? You're not a salesperson. You're like an advisor. Like when you go to see a doctor, the doctor will not just tell you, go do this, go do this. You ask questions. Ask what's going on. Could be maybe look at your blood work. Look at what's going on. Then you start giving advice, right? Because you can feel like he's sincerely helping you. If you go in to see a doctor and he's just like, do this, do this, do this, and you're like, oh, you don't really care about me. Or you go to a dentist, this is what you need to do. Like, well, how do you know I need to have a cavity? How do I know I'm root canal? Then you become suspicious. Well, this person's just trying to sell me. But if they're asking questions and caring, then that's when it's trust is built, right? And then the prospecting becomes so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And let's say you recruit the first people. What most people struggle in the stages are it's very difficult for them in the beginning to overcome the objections. It's very difficult for them to recruit, but sooner or later, everybody who sticks long enough, they find out how to recruit people. But the next challenge is, how do I actually get people that they recruit people? And you also spoke about the simple system that you help people with. Maybe you can explain that a little bit, because this is very interesting. And what I realized, it's very difficult for people to get duplication. So what do you do with somebody that says, here is my credit card, sign me up, I'm ready to get started. What is the next step to make sure that the person has a great start and also brings new people in the business?
That's an excellent question, right? So I'm going to teach you something from my simple online system. So just let's do a role play. So just that you signed up.
Mm-hmm.
You signed up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, when are people most excited about the business?
In the beginning.
When
When they started, when they decided to join the business.
Right. The second they get the credit card.
Exactly.
Right. They think I'm going to make $1 million in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They see the dream. You have to understand, like, after that point, everything goes downhill. Right. Because 2 reasons. Number one, rejection. Right. So, Alex, you give me your credit card. You're, I want to make $1 million. I'm going to be retired, get out of my job. And then you talk to your family, and it's like, oh, Alex, you just got scammed. These things don't work. So mentally, your emotions go down, right?
Exactly.
Then you talk to your neighbor. The neighbor says, oh, I'm really busy now. Maybe now's not a good time. Maybe in October, because it's the summer. Now you go down. So you're going to get rejected. Then you Google something about, is this legitimate? And you see scam. Then you go down, right? You just go down there. And then maybe sometimes it's not just rejection. Maybe you get an email from your boss. Hey, we need to work on this project next week. And you're like, oh, wow, I thought I was going to have time to build this business. And I don't have time. Or your friends ask you to go out. Well, I got to do this. So, and especially like if people have kids. Oh, my kid is sick. I got to help the kids with homework. I got to take them to practice. Oh, my wife is kind of annoyed. I spent money again. All of a sudden, your excitement here just go, ooh. No. And then you tell them, hey, let's go to trainings. Let's build. They're done already. They're mentally out. Most people quit in the first 72 hours. 72. Now, they may not officially quit, but mentally they quit, right? So if I let you go, say you give me a credit card, and then you go home, you talk to your roommate, you talk to your friends, or whatever, your family, they say no, you're not excited anymore, right? So you got to strike when the iron's hot. So just that you signed up, I'm going to ask you, hey, Alex, can you, by the way, even if you don't have any rejection, but right after the meeting, what do most people do? Just after the president, what's the first thing people do after anything? What do they look at? The phone.
Look at the yeah, exactly.
The phone, right?
Yeah.
Phone. In the front could be have notifications, or go to the party, or you see like your friends hanging out this weekend, or maybe your friend texts you to do this, or your boss. You're already distracted and out of that emotional euphoria of joining the business. You're mentally out of it already, right? So the way to protect yourself from that is, I asked you, Alex, do you have? I know you got to go. It's late. Do you have 15 minutes, 20 minutes? I can help you earn $200 right away. Now you just got started. What would you say?
Of course, yeah. Teach me.
Even if you have to go, your friend telling you, hey, you can actually make your money right back in 20 minutes, right? You're gonna say yes. So then what I do is I give you a script, very simple script, right? Say these are 10 of your friends. Send this out to them, and your friend's script is like, hey, you're my best friends. I need your advice or opinion. If you tell them, oh, I've got a great business opportunity for you, they're like, whatever. Once you hear business opportunity, people are skeptical. But you ask, everyone loves to give advice and opinion. So if you ask your friends, hey, I need your advice and opinion, and they're like, you ask 10 of them, what will they say? Hey, you're one of my trustworthy friends. I need your quick advice and opinion.
They say
They'll
yes.
say yes.
Because they want to feel intelligent.
Exactly.
You know, it's like when somebody else is like, oh,
10
okay.
out of 10 will say yes, correct? And then you ask them, I'm working with this guy, Simon. I think I'm really excited, but can you just watch something? It will take 3 minutes, or talk to him and let me know what you think of him. I really trust your opinion. So if you do 10 of these, how many do you think will say yes?
I would say the majority. But my question is, do you sell me do I sell my friends on Simon, or do I sell my friends on the 3 minutes video?
Oh, so I need your advice and opinion. So either or,
Okay.
right? If you want, you can do, it depends on how skeptical your friends are, right? So if
Okay.
it's like a brother or a sibling, normally they're very skeptical, have them, hey, I'm about to work with this guy, Simon. I really need your advice and opinion. Can you just talk to him for 3 minutes, right? And I'm there to support you. I'm on the Zoom. I'm there to support you. I was like, Alex, don't worry about it because whatever they say, you tell me what they say. I'll tell you what to say back.
But do we make the conversation like in a three-way call, or is it just you and my prospect?
We do a three-way call,
Okay.
right? And so when you do the three-way call, you edify me. Hey, this is a guy I think really highly of. You just say it's your sibling, right? You edify me, and then let me do the talking, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you don't have an upline, to do the talk, but normally the person who sponsors you is not good enough, then you can send a 3-minute video. Right? I need your advice, opinion. Take a look at the 3-minute video. Let me know what you think, right? So if you send that either or script to 10 people, how many people will be interested to learn more?
I would say if I send it to 10 people, I mean, when they really want to join the call with you,
how many would be interested to learn more? Just like, not join, just 3-minute video. Three, right? Maybe three out of 10, right?
Yeah.
If you're really good credibility, maybe 5 out of 10, but 3. So now you go, all right, Alex, we set up the meetings, you go back home, right? So just say you go, one of your friends, who's one of your best friends?
Ekrem.
Or your mom, right? Or your mom and dad. And say, Alex, that doesn't work. No one's interested in that. What would you say to them? You say, no, that's not true. Because Eklund, we just talked to him. Eklund said, yes, Eklund said you're meeting Simon tomorrow on the Zoom to learn more, right? So now I kind of protect you from the negativity, from distractions, right? So now I say, to your mind, people, oh, that doesn't work. No, we have 3 meetings set up already. So you're creating quick wins for that new downline. That makes sense?
Absolutely. This is basically the shield, what you build for them, what helps them from all the negativity and all the rejection.
So tomorrow, then I say, Alex, do you want to meet up on Zoom for 30 minutes tomorrow to do some more of these meetings, these calls, text messages tomorrow? What are you going to say? You're going to say yes, because we got some quick wins, results, right? But what most people do, and the problem of the industry is they let people go, and then all of a sudden your parents say, oh, this doesn't work, and tomorrow I'm trying to get you to training. That doesn't work. I have you watch a video. It doesn't work because deep down, you suffered a couple of jabs and some rejection, and then not to mention that you're distracted, you have work, you have other things going on. It's hard to get people back. So you got to get people when they're emotionally fired up. It's just like the same thing with there's 2 other things. Is what's the best way to revive a downline, right? A downline is not interested in what's the best way. Doesn't matter what you say, it's not going to work. The only way to get a downline back into action is to get them to an event. Because if an event is an emotional experience, right? These downlines who don't do anything, logically, they know they should do the business. But emotionally, they don't do it because they've given up. They don't believe they can do it. They can't take the rejection anymore. They can't do it. So the only way to overcome is emotion. Right? People buy because emotion justify logic. So if you want to revive a downline, you got to get them in an emotional state. You got to get them to an event, right? And that's actually how you start someone new. Is you create that, strike it when the emotions are high. You just signed up. You're excited. You got to get them going right away.
But how long do you do those 3-way calls with somebody that signs up? Do you do like 10 with them and then you leave them on your own, or do you work with the first 1 month very close with him, or what is your strategy for that?
Well, everyone is different, right? So everyone's different, and you have to depend. If I was talking to someone like you, after the 3-way calls, I know you're pretty sharp. I was thinking, you know what? And by the way, there's no one system that works for everything, right? Because humans are different. Like you're different from me. We're also different age groups, right? Then we're definitely totally different from like a mom, 40-year-old mom. So it's not one system that works all. It's all different ones, different ways. So if someone's like a leader like you, I would start when I present. You don't just say, oh, all right, go, Alex, do everything. And you're like, oh, you're overwhelmed. I would still do maybe 80% of the presentation and let you do 10, 20%, right? And 10, 20% is generally what? Sharing your story, right? Can you share your story or share a testimonial, share something easy? That's easy. And the more confidently you do it, then maybe you do 40% of the presentation, then 60%, then 80%. And then finally, you can do your own presentations.
Interesting. Okay, so but how do you develop leadership? So when is the point where you did the calls with them? They are already good in inviting, they are already getting better in explaining the business for themselves. But where do you help them that they also produce more leaders in their organization? What is your strategy for that?
Well, you can't produce, you don't really produce. Let me just talk about producing leaders, that term. Not everyone's a leader, right? I think there's a myth of the industry, like everyone can be a leader. You recruit two people, two becomes four, four becomes eight becomes 16 and 32, and the whole California is your team in your downline, and next thing the whole US and the whole world. That doesn't work. You recruit leaders, right? And not everyone's going to be a leader. This business is about endless recruiting and finding that person. But how to increase leadership is just like what I shared before. You give them small little tasks to see whether they'll do it or not. Right? So if I said, hey, can you prepare next presentation, you share your story at the beginning, and then when you talk about product, you share your product, talk about the products. And you're like, Simon, I can't do it, and went out. Then, all right, your leadership is not there. But it doesn't mean you're a bad leader. I just have to give you something. You're not at that level. I got to give you something easier for you to do. But leadership, at the end of the day, is responsibility. And if you're watching this, listening to this, you want to increase your leadership, just take more responsibility. But you can take responsibility in your community, right? Go be a baseball coach, right? Go help out at your church. Go and help out and be on the school board, right? Or go organize that event. All these small, or set up the Zoom room for your team, or transcribe the notes, right? Or help your leader post something on social media on a team group. You can do anything. Any small task that requires responsibility increases your leadership. And as your leadership grows, you can tack on more and more things. So I'll give you an example. I talked about the Forever Young networking event, the get-together I did. When I first started 21 years ago, I would never been able to do that. It's like, oh, I can organize people. I can do an invite list, coordinate, create a Facebook group, do the meeting, find the venue, making sure the food was good. I didn't have that leadership. But throughout the 21 years, I did a lot of small things, and I was able to do that. Right? So leadership is developed in small, little, tiny chunks. And if that person can't do it, then you give them some easier tasks to do.
Okay. What's also important, what I realized when I started to recruit the first people, I recruited everybody that I found. Like everybody who just walk in front of me, I just found a way to get them in the business. But like after like 2 years, I found out it's not the best strategy because some people are not meant for this. And I was looking for the wrong things in people. So because of your experience, you have so many years of experience in the business. What are you looking for when you recruit somebody?
I hope you don't get mad at me about this, right? But I recruit everyone. Okay. And I teach people to recruit everyone because you never know. If you're just looking for a certain type of person, then you're going to lose out on a lot of leaders. Because a lot of some of the big leaders in my business, if I told you where they're from, they're definitely low quality prospects, right? Okay. Like I had someone that was Ivy League educated, MBA at USC in business, very good. Did nothing. Yeah. And then one of my biggest leaders was a guy that basically go drink and get drunk 5-6 nights a week, a party animal, but became a top leader. So in the Philippines, same thing. I had this person that was very successful in the richest family, actually did advertising on major highways, but quit in 6 months. But then I have a person that was poor, couldn't even pay a hospital bill when his wife got pregnant, has earned over $5 million US, because you can never see the heart of someone. Right? But if you say, like, I want to recruit certain type of people, you basically, number one, because most people, they have, maybe it works for you because you have that consistency. People generally will find excuses not to prospect. Right? They'll think, oh, I got to prospect 5 people today. But, oh, Alex, I didn't find anyone good, so I don't need to do any work today. But I worked hard, but you didn't make any sales. Right? So go out there and just reach out to people. Also, one of my most painful mistakes, the number one most painful mistake from in the business in 21 years was I was looking for a leader and I never reached out to this person. He was in my warm market because the person was busy. He's definitely not focused. He's a party animal, loves to have fun, plays hockey, never had any time, had 2 daughters, and never good for the network marketing. I would say very, and then turned out, joined another company and recruited 14 people in 1 month.
Really?
Yeah.
You never talked to him.
And this the whole time I was looking for quality people, and they all join and quit, join and quit. And this person was right in my backyard, a friend of a friend, a family member of a family member. Right? I could have now, like, doesn't mean he would join me, but I never even told him about my business because I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. He's not good. Because again, I was young, and I'll find an excuse not to prospect. So that was and I never made that mistake again.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, nice. So I want to ask you, like, how did you make the transition from being active in network marketing into teaching people in network marketing, like generic? So, because this is where I think some people, they also think about it because they learned the skill, they made already the first steps, they have already a track record. So how did you structure it in the first place? That would be super interesting for me. So how did you build it up? Did you sell a course in the beginning, or did you sell one-to-one mentorship, or what was the strategy back then for you?
Well, there's definitely advantages and disadvantages of being a coach. The advantage is you have a lot more flexibility in doing the things because you can create a product anytime you want. You can do whatever you want, right? But the disadvantage is it's literally 10,000 times harder than building a network marketing business, right? Because a lot of the advantages of network marketing is you don't have to worry about a product, you don't have to worry about the systems, you don't have to worry about this. You have to do all of that. And that's why most coaches, they may coach a little bit and then they go back into building.
Yeah.
So for me, it was I wanted to make a bigger impact, and there's 2 things that happened. Number one, I was the number 1 fastest growing person in the entire company out of 100,000 something people in the US. I won the award, President's Award, in 2012. And because of that, everyone reached out to me on social media. And I used to help them. I was like, oh, a Facebook message, I got to read this. Is when Facebook was relatively new. I got a message, I got to reply back. And it got to the point I was spending so much time with these people in my company that I didn't even know, more than my own team, right? So I just have to stop. So at the same time, I learned about coaching and stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to charge them $250 an hour. Not to think that I would actually join, they would pay, but just to get rid of them. So if you ask me for help, I was like, hey, just to be fair to my team and my family, I can't really help anyone outside my organization because otherwise I have no time, I'm stuck. But I'll be willing to help you if you do set up a coaching call. It's $250 an hour. And I'll send that. And to my surprise, a couple people actually paid me.
Nice.
So, wow.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So I did that, but it wasn't very satisfying because you can make an impact with 1 coaching call, right? Because you need the follow up, you need the consistency. So that's when I started my own membership group. Like, hey, what about if I do a membership group where every month or every week of coaching, where one-on-one coaching while helping the person. So that's actually how it transitioned. My first thing I ever sold was I did a webinar, a time management webinar. People knew me as very good with time management, and I sold it for $15. And I made like maybe $1,500. 100 people joined. This is way back in 2012. That was the start. The first thing I ever sold. But I realized I didn't enjoy doing that. But I really enjoyed having that relationship with people. So I started doing like a membership. It was like $47 a month. And I did a coaching, $200 a month for a little more serious people. Just to do it part-time to see if I enjoyed it. And I liked it. After 6 months, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And that's when I decided, hey, I'm going to transition. I'll have a bigger purpose. There's so many people outside my company too that needs help. And that's when I became a full-time coach in April of 2013.
So do you still have the membership group with $47 a month?
I do, but it is closed now. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not taking any new members. I'm just working with the new existing members. But I do a mastermind for select people that is $197 a month, and with hands-on coaching where we do a one-on-one call. I work with the social media profile, and then we do a call once a week.
Okay. That's $170?
$197 a month. And you can do monthly, or you can do 6 months, or you can do just month to month. But we normally have a consistent basis, a group of there. And part of it's like we all share our wins, we share our challenges. So you're not learning just from me, but you're learning the other people's problems, how they're getting solved.
Nice. And how many people do you have in that for all $200 approximately?
Right now it's very small. I like to keep it small. We have about like 20 something. I believe. 20. Nice. I haven't promoted that much. I think it's 20 something. It's called Consistency Champions.
Ah, cool, nice. And do you have what are other programs that you have, or is that the only program that you focus the mastermind?
That is the only program. I mean, I have a couple of fast start training, online fast start training for $7, but really small. My focus is really Consistency Champions and also the podcast, just networking with other leaders. And yeah, that's what I keep it simple. That's the lesson I've learned. If you do too many things, it gets very complicated. So success is about being simple.
Nice, and it's super affordable too. It's not expensive for that what you get.
Yes.
That's cool, nice. And I want to wrap up the episode. So, what advice do you have for someone that said, this year, 2024, I want to make the best year ever what I had in network marketing. So what can they do directly after the episode to create the best year they ever had?
You got to master the number one skill. And the number one skill, most important, is not prospecting, it's not social media, it is consistency. And consistency is not something you're born with. I know you're very consistent, Alex. You were not born with it. It's a skill that you learn. Right? There's no mental hacks, no tricks. That's why I wrote the book, The Consistency Pill.
Nice.
And talks about if you're not consistent, no one's ever going to join your business because people are like, oh, obviously you're not making money. But even if you're not making money, if you show up all the time, like you shared up what you did, people will become interested in what you do. I was just speaking at an event yesterday, an online event, where this one guy sponsored someone in Brazil. My friend Mike Beverly signed up someone in Brazil that brought in 30 people in 1 month. Okay,
nice.
But I was like, how did you find this person? So this lady has been following him for the last 8-9 months, but he never knew about it. But he's always been consistent with his content, posting, and then finally she reached out to him saying, I'm interested in what you do, signed up. And that's what it works. Like I always talk about, don't convince your prospects, you outlast them with your consistency.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I have a freebie. For those don't know how to be consistent, I have a free cheat sheet. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook, Simon W. Chan. It basically is a quick summary, 1-page summary of the book of these 7 things you need to do. I talked about one of them, like creating a routine, doing having a checklist, having accountability. If you message me on Instagram or Facebook, I will send you a link. It's a free download.
Awesome. I want to have it. I'll check it out later.
Definitely. Hey, thank you for having me, Alex. I appreciate you having me here. My last words is, hey, we're in the profession to help others. So go out there and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Simon. It was amazing. So much value in just 40 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much.
Welcome.